watch this space. Watch this space. So, I mean, if you look at what's happening here in this school, they've done a really wonderful job, and I really thank the teachers for what they've done throughout the crisis. You know, there are kids here who've been educated throughout the whole COVID crisis. But now what's happened is more kids are coming back since June the 1st, and you know, some year 6, virtually every pupil is now back. And my message to all parents and all pupils is really to follow this example. Schools are safe to come back to for early years, for reception for year 1, year 6 in primary, year 10, year 12 in secondary. Now's the time to come back, get your kids back into school, and of course on the social distancing measures, as I've said, watch this space. We will be putting in further changes as the science allows. I think that's what the public also want to see. They want to see us working with the reality. You began by saying, well, there are hotspots, there are outbreaks in parts of the north of the country, and yes, that's true. But we're moving now from a world, I think, in which we have to impose a huge one-size-fits-all national lockdown programme to one in which we're able to do more localised responses. So the JBC that today announced the change in the alert level is working with our test and trace operation to make sure that we can do local whack-a-mole. That's what we're after.
So perhaps an early birthday present for parents around the country. Is it your aspiration that parents of kids of all ages should be able to go back to school 5 days a week in September? Absolutely.
Let me be very clear. I want a world in which, as far as possible, provided we can make the classroom safe, and I think we can, as safe as possible, I want every child, every pupil, every student back in September. And I'm sure we can get it done. And there are parts of our European friends and some other countries haven't got any pupils back at all over the summer. They're waiting until September. We've got quite a few back, but we want them all back in September. And I think, as I say, we've got to start thinking of a world in which we are less apprehensive about this disease. Yes, it's been a horrible shock for the country and for the world. And I think the British people have worked incredibly hard to drive it down. But we're starting to make some real progress with test and trace, with treatments for the disease, and I hope that as we go forward into the autumn, people will be much, much more confident.
But 5 days a week, not 1 week on, 1 week off, half days. You want the whole
I do. Sam, I'm making no bones about it. I think that's the way forward for our country.
£1 billion today to help keep people to catch up. Some teachers scratching their heads about exactly what's expected of them. So let's talk about parents. What can parents expect that this money will be used for? Every child in primary and secondary school getting some help?
Well, as you know, the funds are broken down, so some of it is for schools to decide exactly what they want to spend or what their priority is. But the thing I think that really matters is to get some more direct tuition, some one-to-one tuition for pupils who need remedial help, perhaps, who really need help because they've lost time, they've lost time to learn over the last few months, but then also help for kids who have promise but who don't normally get it. And this is one of the things I think we really want to develop as a government, the idea of really helping schools to give more direct focus, more one-to-one tutorial help.
But not one-to-one for everyone?
Well, that will be up to, we don't want to impose a model that's too rigid on the schools, on the teachers who are doing a fantastic job. We want to give them the tools to give more help where they think that is appropriate.